What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Back at it again with another banger, my friends. Y'all know the vibes. Kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
So South Carolina and Texas have been in the headlines since South Carolina defeated them in round 3 of the teams matching up this season for the SEC title, man. First of all, these two teams have been competing. We've got like a little rivalry already going with the two coaches, Dawn Staley, Vic Schaefer, very familiar with one another. They've battled 3 times. They're conference foes. The regular season the 1 seed in the SEC tournament came down to a coin toss, which was already nuts. Then they matched up again. South Carolina beat Texas in the SEC championship, but now they have a big battle off the court, and it is for the number 1 overall high school player in America right now, Aaliyah Chavez, out of Lubbock, Texas, who is set to make her college decision later this month. Both teams are in her final list of schools, but where does she fit best? So Chavez, the 5-star point guard, number 1 overall player in 2025, decided to make her commitment date on March 25th. Now, she's a 5'9" guard out of Lubbock, Texas. She's the consensus number 1 player in America and one of the most prolific scorers in women's high school basketball history. Earlier this month, she broke her own single-season scoring record for the Lady Plainsmen, and she will likely finish her career just shy of 5,000 points. That's a whole lot of buckets, y'all. And y'all see the film, man. Like, elite scorer from all 3 levels, plays with great pace, really smooth with the basketball, has it on the string, can beat you off the dribble, finishes in style with either hand, elite layup package, very crafty around the rim. Limitless range. She can bust you off the dribble. If you're playing too far back, you're getting shot over. If you get too close, you're getting blown by. She is just a legitimate walking bucket that is set to make an immediate impact and be in that freshman of the year running no matter what school she decides. But 2 big schools that are definitely recruiting her. First off, Texas. Also, Oklahoma is in the mix, South Carolina is in the mix, and Texas Tech Red Raiders are in the mix as well. Texas head coach Vic Schaefer actually attended one of her playoff games earlier this month, and UT will continue, obviously, to make a huge push to get the top recruiting target in 2025, and on top of that, keep her home in Texas. Now, you got 2 Texas schools in there. Obviously, NIL is going to be a big deal here. We just saw the number 1 player in the country for the men's side, AJ DeBonza, get over like $6 million from BYU. So, we could see $1 million, $2 million, $3 million package here. And I think, honestly, the investment would be even better just because you're getting her for 4 years and it's not like a quick one and done. Now, we know what Coach Dawn Staley and South Carolina are bringing, man. They have a loaded roster, even next year, if Raven Johnson leaves, when Breezy Hall leaves, when Tina Powell leaves. Like, they bring back Malaysia Fulwiley, they bring back Tessa Johnson, they bring back Maddie McDaniel, they're bringing in Agot McKeer, who is a walking bucket as well on the wing, as well as Isla McDowell, who's another walking bucket and just a tough competitor on both ends of the basketball. If they could land Aaliyah Chavez with this class, I would think they probably have a really good chance of jumping LSU for the number 1 class in 2025. The thing is, playing time may not be immediate for her. You got Maddie McDaniel, who's going to have a year under her belt under this system, earned the trust of Dawn Staley, and is already getting valuable minutes in big games. Malaysia Fulwiley should absolutely have the complete keys to this offense next year. And then you also have Tessa Johnson in the fold as well, who's likely going to be a starter as well. So Aaliyah Chavez would basically have to beat out Maddie McDaniel, another 5-star point guard who is almost like a Dawn Staley clone out there for the starting spot if she wanted to start. Now, if she doesn't mind coming off the bench, then that wouldn't be an issue for her going to South Carolina. I mean, she'll get the chance to win championships, develop for the next level, to be a WNBA player, and definitely play some of the toughest competition all across the country on the biggest stage with the most watched program in college hoops. Like, it's endless. The NIL deals will be there, the money will be there, and her commitment to the program will definitely translate to the next level if she were to go there, if she wants to take a back seat. We see how it's working out from Aaliyah Chavez, who was SEC tournament MVP last year. This season, she balled out in the SEC tournament again, and she won 6th Player of the Year for the South Carolina Gamecocks in the SEC conference. So you definitely don't have to start immediately. And that's not to say that she wouldn't start now, because Dawn Staley is definitely, I think, going to tinker with that starting lineup next year, and Maddie McDaniel could be the odd woman out in that starting lineup, because I do think Aaliyah Chavez has more upside, but it's the experience, and we know Coach Dawn Staley is definitely loyal to her players that have put the time in and put the program first and been there through some battles. So Maddie McDaniel will definitely already be battle tested and have a leg up being a year ahead. But Chavez, the scoring ability, the playmaking ability, she's not the defender McDaniel is, and that's something that she will have to do better, is defend and be committed on that end. But when you talk about adding firepower with a backcourt of Chavez, Tessa Johnson, and Malaysia Wiley as your perimeter threats, bro, that's going to be one of the best 1-2-3 punches in the nation. Then you got Joyce Edwards and Chloe Kitts down there. Like, South Carolina could absolutely be scary. Then you got Makira coming off the bench. You got McDowell coming off the bench as well. You still have a lot of talent at South Carolina, man, but she's not going to go there and get 20 shots a game. Now, flipping on the other side, Texas, it's a home state school, richest athletic department in the country. They generate the most money. They definitely could get her the NIL money she is looking for. Presley would be her only competition at Texas at the point guard spot. You lose Rory Harmon, and you really don't have an immediate replacement that can bring what Harmon brought. Now, you put in Aaliyah Chavez to that lineup with Madison Booker. They get Layla Falia back as well next year, and you got a really good 1-2-3 punch for Texas as well. One of the best perimeter offenses, I think, in the country that will definitely solve their three-point shooting problem that they have right now with Chavez, with Falia in the lineup as well, with Madison Booker unafraid to take those shots and make those shots. If we seen, the perimeter threat would completely transform the trajectory of this Texas team, where you can't just pack the paint for them now, because they've got legitimate scorers all over the perimeter that can spread you out, shoot the ball, but all of them can also create their own offense, get it off the dribble, and attack the cup as well. Texas is recruiting her hard. Like we said, Vic Schaefer was at one of her playoff games. She's in their backyard. Like, it's going to definitely be hard for her to escape out of Texas. That is going to be a big, big, big hill to overcome. But we've seen Coach Dawn Staley and this staff pull players from all over the country, so it's not unheard of. Then you got Texas Tech, who has a billionaire donor who has absolutely revamped their athletics department. They paid a softball pitcher $1 million to transfer from Stanford. So if they're willing to do that, ain't no telling how much they're willing to close the deal to spend on Aaliyah Chavez, man. And that's 4 years you're getting her to really revitalize your basketball program on the women's side. It's a good investment. She is the type of player that could have, like, we saw what one player could do for one program, right? With Caitlin Clark and how she elevated Iowa's program. Aaliyah Chavez could do that for Texas Tech. And if the money is right, she might take her talents and keep them in Lubbock. You talk about having her right in your backyard, playing in front of her family, her friends, all the people she grew up with, putting her team, like her home team, on the map. Like we saw Juju Watkins do. She could have went anywhere. She went to SoCal and has completely really revived that program as well in just 2 seasons. So we see, if you decide to stay home, Joyce Edwards, Malaysia Wiley, Ashlyn Watkins did the same thing. Stayed at home and helped, catapult South Carolina into just continuing to uphold that standard. So, maybe she wants to build her own legacy. I tell you what, Texas, probably an immediate starter. Texas Tech, complete franchise player. She's getting all the shots she wants. It does not matter. She's got the ultimate green light, freshman of the year, possible national player of the year. Like, she will be in the running for those awards because she will have the ultimate green light. At Texas Tech, she will get the ball from day one. So it really depends what's more important, success individually or success as a team. Maybe she could have both. You know, there's going to be players that want to play with her as well. Texas Tech throws some money around in that transfer portal like they did for football. Who knows what can happen? Now, last but not least, you got Oklahoma, who's been a top 15 ranked team. They're in the SEC as well, so the third SEC school going after her to make her Final Four. Her and Peyton Verhulst would be an elite backcourt, man. Verhulst is a lottery pick, in my opinion, in the next 2 seasons. With her size, her shot-making ability, like, she done went for 30 a couple times. Like, she is a walking bucket, but more of an off-ball guard. So you bring in Chavez, and you have her playing the one to take some pressure and some of the ball handling responsibilities from Verhulst. It will definitely ease the load on her. They have more firepower in the backcourt than they did this year with Chavez. And then you also bring back Reagan Beers, the Vaughn sisters as well. Like, Oklahoma definitely would be a nice, I think, adjustment for her. I think she would plug in right away. They have a great coach who lets their guards really rock out, and she could still have the green light at Oklahoma. It may not be immediately the first year, but her and Verhulst would definitely get all the shots they want, and you got Reagan Beers down there cleaning up the glass. So Oklahoma definitely isn't in the running as well, man. It really depends on what she's trying to accomplish. If she wants immediate playing time and to be in that national freshman of the year race, Texas, Oklahoma, Texas Tech might be the move for her. If she's looking for team success, Texas, Oklahoma, or South Carolina could be the move. If she's looking for championships, probably need to go to South Carolina. If you're looking to develop under one of the best point guards to ever play the game, probably want to go to South Carolina. It really depends. Are you okay with sitting the bench for a year and coming off the bench? Are you okay with not starting and being the focal point of the offense? Or maybe you could be. You know, we're seeing what Joyce Edwards is doing in year one. It took an injury to Ashlyn Watkins, but she's doing a lot more than we expected, I think, and taking on a lot more responsibility than we expected initially. So to say that she wouldn't get playing time at South Carolina, I think is untrue, but it'll be what she thinks, what the best move for her and her priorities. But Vic Schaefer, Don Staley in another battle off the court for the number 1 player in the country, and I can't wait to see how this plays out in a couple of weeks. Y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments. That is a wrap for us. For all the latest and the greatest, I am Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV, your host. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share, all that good stuff, and join our memberships. We got exclusive content daily, weekly, whenever you need it. Till next time, we out.